here we are, people, on the final chapter of my little Predators look. That's right, the 6th member. I checked because I might have forgotten, would have looked foolish if I had. The 6th member of the team, the leader of the group, Skyquake, who had a very, very small role in Last Stand of the Wreckers. Thank you, Nick and James. They don't watch, but whatever. So this is the big leader-sized toy, so let's get straight in and look at this big mama jamma. Do-do-do-do.
When I say this guy's big, I really wasn't kidding. He's just chilling out here in his massive bomber plane mode, once again in some very 90s colour choices. If you're not a fan of the choices of colour that they made in the 90s, I'm sure at the very least you can appreciate how well this toy has turned out, how good it looks. Because this is a really imposing looking plane, as it should be. It's got some nice stickers here and there, but doesn't blow you away until you look at the nose of the plane, where it has that cool shark design, which I think goes back to either World War I or World War II. A really nice extra little detail that they put on there, and you just go, wow, don't mess with this guy. And something else that's quite cool is he has his own unique Decepticon insignia on one of his plane fins, which is quite nice and looks again like an Air Squadron commander symbol. And again, underneath the toy, he's quite clean. You can tell where things are, like his arms and legs and whatnot, but it's fairly well hidden. There's no extra bits really hanging down, except for where you've stuck his gun, and that's about it. But before we move on to his robot mode, let's have a look at some of the gimmicks he has here in his giant bomber plane mode. So, of course, he has a load of these green missiles, which are all over the place, which are quite nice. In terms of gimmicks, we'll put his wings out of the way to help. We have these. These are where all of his missiles really are stored, in these two sections. And it's quite a nice little gimmick. If I can get the light and show you, what you do is you turn this bit here around and it'll drop the bombs out. Sometimes they do get stuck, but you just need to fiddle around with it, and you just kind of put it in that middle section and the bombs won't fall out. It's quite a nice little gimmick if you can get it to work. Sometimes, as I say, it does get stuck. So here we go. There's one straight off the bat. Come on. Yeah, we can get another one, I'm sure. Like I say, it does stick, but that might just be because of its age or mine. And there you go, there's another bomb there. So it's quite a nice little gimmick. You can just drop these little bombs on your Autobot friends. And here is his big one. The Mega Visor is all here and connects with all of these mini visors, we'll call them, even though they are Mega Visors. It would go in the top here, but I've heard that this is gold plastic and has known to break on some people, so beware if you do it. We do have his Mega Visor there, and we also have a mirror here, so what you can do is, when you aim this up, you can actually look downwards through this hole in the bottom and actually see where you're going to be dropping the bombs. Again, a really cool little gimmick and something that only works partially, but there's the mirror, as you can see, it's sliding back and forth. It's just a really interesting little idea that, oh, we've got to have this bomber thing, we've got this Mega Visor thing on the back, why don't we multi-use it? So it's a nice feature, and as I say, you can put the other visors in the top and replace Skyquake's Mega Visor with the other Decepticons. Again, cool, but kind of dangerous. And it does have all these nice looks to it, but we'll have a closer look here at the Mega Visor. And when we have a look at it, we can see that his Mega Visor gimmick shows what I assume to be Rotorstorm. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's him. And what we can do is we can knock this bit up and it goes away, and this is where you would replace it with the other one. Or you can flip up the green part and try and use natural light to illuminate this little guy and his Mega Visor. But it doesn't really want to focus, and it's not going to, unfortunately, but you get the idea. The green does illuminate it a lot more, I would say. So it's time to take him and transform him into a big-ass robot.
Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers.
So he is Skyquake in his massive robot mode, and as we have a look at the head, you can see that it has a very similar aesthetic to the Stalker that we had a look at last time. But it does look a lot more commanding than Stalker. Again, you can tell that this guy is the leader of the group. And when I said this guy's big, I ain't kidding. Let's actually get in Stalker. And how about a Voyager, just to compare sizes. So you can see that he's big. He really is a big toy. And in terms of articulation, what do we have here? Really only the arms here with giant ratchety joints, which are nice, but they only really go out to 90 degrees, if that. And we'll put them down. We also have knees, but that's really for transformation only, so it's not even worth showing, I'll be honest. We do have his weapon here, which we can put in his hand. He actually holds it better than some, and this is the one with the actual broken handle, so he can just about hold it, so it's nice. At the very least, this gun isn't worthless. And the last thing I suppose we should show you is if you move this big whole back section, the Mega Visor all the way up, this back section here has a little handle, and if you move this up, you can see some more light piping, which is quite cool, and I'll show you right here how it does it. Just like that. Quite nice, not sure why it does it. And he does have some nice light piping again in the back of his head, like the rest of these Predators do. It illuminates really nicely. I think it's got a nice effect. And because of those light piping in the back, he can get this nice glow around his chest area. Skyquake's a really nice big toy. By today's standards, he's not very playable, but he's a nice imposing looking character. And when you have him with the rest of the Predators, I think he looks fairly successful. All of these Predators are very old school G1-y kind of toys, so if you're not into that, remember, these aren't going to change your mind, but they tickle my funny bone from back in the day, and I am very nostalgic about them as well. So thank you guys for watching these sets of Predator videos. These are all the ones I have. I should be doing maybe the Turbo Masters in the future, but until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time for something else.